Good morning friends, welcome to the concept of coordinate geometry. This chapter is very helpful for the students who are preparing for CAT as well as SSC, because in last years you have seen some questions may be asked directly or indirectly in SSC from the topic of coordinate geometry. So in this class we will try to understand the different varieties of questions, the different formulas, as well as we will also solve some questions in this class. Let us start with the concept of coordinate geometry. Okay. For starting the coordinate geometry, the first step that we have to understand is how to show a point in the coordinate axis. This is x-axis and this is said to be y-axis. We will know that here x is positive, that is origin O, that is denoted by O. The coordinates are 0, 0. Here x is negative, here y is positive, here y is negative. Right? Now we have to show the points in that coordinate axis. Suppose you have to show the point 2, 3. You have to show the point 2, 3. Every point that is given in this format, that is denoted by x, y, where this part is basically known as abscissa, ABSIC, SA, and this part of y that is known as ordinate. So we know that one term that we have used, that is abscissa, and the second term that we have used, that is ordinate. Abscissa is basically used for the coordinate of x and ordinate is used for the coordinate of y. Suppose you have to show the point 2, 3, it means I can say that abscissa is 2 and ordinate is 3. If the abscissa is 2, it means on x-axis, suppose this is 1, this is 2. So I will say this point we have to take, that is 2, and ordinate is 3, 1, 2 and 3. So this point is 3. So if I want to show it 2, 3, it is before 2 and here 3. So this point is known as 2, 3. So that point is now shown in the coordinate axis, that is 2, 3. Suppose you have to show -1, -2. You have to show -1, -2. So I can say here abscissa is -1 as well as ordinate is -2. So what I can say, I can state that abscissa is -1. It means I will just take from this is -1 and ordinate is -2, that is y-axis is negative, that is -2. So this point is taken as -1, -2, right? The first thing that we have understood here is that in the coordinate axis, if you have to show any point, with that you can show your point easily. The next thing that we have to understand, this is x-axis and this is y-axis. So we can say that any point that is on x-axis, for that ordinate is always equal to 0. Any point on x-axis, we can say that ordinate is always equal to 0. Means coordinate of y is 0. Suppose I have to take this point is taken as 2, 0. Abscissa is 2 and ordinate is 0. And the next is, if you want to show any point on the y-axis, for that abscissa is always equal to 0. So if you have to show any point on y-axis, for that abscissa is equal to 0. So in the introduction we have understood how to show the different points into the coordinate axis, x-axis and y-axis plane. So we can take here that in the first quadrant, abscissa and ordinate both are positive. In the second quadrant, my abscissa is negative and ordinate is positive. In the third quadrant, both are negative. In the fourth quadrant, I can say abscissa is positive and ordinate is negative. So that is the basic introduction about the coordinate geometry. Now we are going to start to solve some different questions here. Yeah, I can say that we can start with the first type of point here. Suppose in coordinate axis 2 points are given. One point is A, coordinates are x1, y1, and the second point is B, its coordinates are x2, y2. We can meet these 2 points. The first topic that we can start is how to find the distance between 2 particular points where both points are given in x-axis and y-axis. So formula for the finding the distances, that is basically known as the distance formula, that is under root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. So I can say that this is known as the distance formula, that would be taken as under root of x2 minus x1 whole square plus y2 minus y1 whole square. Suppose if I say 2 points are given to you, the first point is given, that is A minus 2, 1. Second point is given B, that is 3, 2, right? we have to find out what is the distance between AB. So where I can start with y2 x2 minus x1. So 3 plus 2, that is 5, square is 25, plus y2 minus y1. 2 minus 1 is 1, square is 1. So I may say the distance between AB is root 26. That is the answer to my first statement. By this we can find the distance between the 2 points. I hope it's clear. Now, based over this topic, we have just understood how to find the distance. Now, sometime number of questions can be made over it. What type of questions can be there? Suppose 3 points are given. Suppose 3 points are given. One is A, one is B, and one is C. A point is given as 1, 2. B point is given as 0, 3, and C point is given as 0, minus 1. Okay. Now we know that when 3 points are there, so we have two type of cases. Either we can make a triangle by meeting all the 3 points, or the 3 points may be collinear. So we have 2 points here. Two things can be made. When the 3 points are given, either we can draw a triangle with the help of the 3 points, or all the 3 points will lie on the same line. We can say they are said to be collinear. Now, first of all, I just want to tell you how to prove it is collinear. For that, we can say collinear. By the term collinear, we mean where points will lie on the same line. Suppose if I say all 3 points lie on the same line, so we can say points are said to be collinear. If 3 points lie on the same line, that simply means sum of distances between 2 points, is equal to third distance. How? Suppose we have 3 points here, A, B and C. So first we find AB. With the help of the distance formula we can find. Similarly, we may also find BC and we may also find AC. Means between 3 points we can find these 3 distances. If sum of the distances of AB plus BC is equal to AC, so in that case I can say points are said to be collinear. That is the first definition of the collinear points, when 3 points are there. And if we have to prove that whether points are said to be collinear or not, the first thing that we have to show here that we just try to state sum of the distances between 2 AB plus BC, if that is equal to AC, or you can say that points are said to be collinear. If it is not equal to that one, it means it is going to form a triangle. Now triangle may be of a different types. There may be equilateral triangle, there may be isosceles triangle, there may be right angle triangle. Now sometimes the question is asked that what type of triangle is being made. It is given in the statement that the 3 points are given, and you have to find by meeting the coordinate of the 3 points one triangle is made, and the question is what type of triangle is being formed. So what we can say that if we have to prove the triangle to be equilateral triangle, it means all sides must be equal. So you may say if you have AB equal to BC equal to AC, so you may say that the triangle that is formed by this point that is said to be equilateral triangle. Second is isosceles, where 2 sides are equal and third side is unequal. Suppose if I say AB is equal to BC, this is not equal to AC, so we may say that the triangle is said to be isosceles triangle. Similarly, if you have to show the given triangle is a right angle triangle, the given triangle is a right angle triangle only when we can apply the Pythagoras in that. Means sum of the square of 2 sides means AB square plus BC square. If this is equal to AC square, in that case we can say that the triangle formed by with these 3 points is said to be right angle triangle. I hope the idea is clear. That simply means that whenever 3 points are there, so first we have these 2 variety of questions. First you have to prove whether the points are collinear. For that, by applying of the distance formula, we can find AB, BC and AC, and we may show this. If that is true, we may say points are said to be collinear. If that is not true, the question may be what type of triangle we are going to form. We can just prove by this way, right? Let us have an example. In that example, we want to show that whether the triangle made by the 3 points is a right angle triangle or not. Suppose the points are given as 1, -1, -1, 4 and 4 and 6. 1, -1, -1, 4 and 4 and 6, 3 points are given. Suppose this is A, this is B and this is C. We have to show that the triangle that we are going to make with this is a right angle triangle or not. So first I will take the length of AB, right? AB would be taken as x2 minus x1 minus 1 minus 1 minus 2 square 4 plus y2 minus y1. 4 plus 1 5 square 25. So I may say that the length of AB is said to be root 29. Then I find length of AC, x2 minus x1, 4 minus 1 3, square of 3 is 9 plus y2 minus y1, 6 plus 1 7, 7 square is 49. So I may say this is said to be root of 58. Then I will find the length of BC. So BC may be taken as x2 minus x1. That means 4 plus 1 5. 5 square is 25 plus y2 minus y1. That is 6 minus 4 2 square 4. So that would be taken as root of 29. Now what we have got here, AB, AC and BC. Now in order to apply the Pythagoras theorem, we know that sum of the squares of two sides is equal to square of the third one. So I will say in this question that AB square plus BC square, whether this is equal to AC square or not, that we have to verify. We can say AB square is 29, BC square is 29 and this is equal to 58. Left hand side is equal to right hand side. So we can say that the triangle that is being formed by these 3 points is said to be a right angle triangle. I hope it's clear. So sometime in SSC questions may be asked of this type. You have to check what type of triangle is being made. It is either equilateral triangle or isosceles or scalene or right angle triangle, or the points are collinear. We may just answer these questions on that basis. Now that is the introduction that we have done. Now the second point that we are going to understand here, that deals with area of the triangle. It deals with area of the triangle, right? Suppose the 3 points are there and if points are not collinear, we can say it means a triangle. And if a triangle is there, it means it must have some area. So now the next point is how to find the area of the triangle. Suppose points are given, A is given as x1, y1. Then point B is given as x2, y2. Point C is given as x3, y3. And we have to find out what is the area of the triangle. In order to find the area, there may be number of strategies, but the most simplest strategy that we can take here, that for finding the area, write all the points in this format. Outside you have taken 1 by 2 and we started to write all the points. This is x1, y1. This is said to be x2, y2. This is said to be x3, y3. Again repeat the first one, that is x1, y1. Right? Whatever the point I write here, I will again repeat in the last. Then what we can say, 1 by 2 will be outside. We start to cross multiply by this structure. By arrow, first we multiply right to left. That means that is said to be x1, y2 plus x2, y3 plus x3, y1. Right? Then we multiply left to right. Here we have to take it the negative. Means if you get positive, make it negative. If you get negative, make it positive. So I may take it as, I have taken minus here and just multiply all the side inside, because if it is positive or negative, sign will be automatically changed. So I may take it as x2, y1 plus then this one x3, y2, then this one x1, y3. Right? Now just solve it. Whatever you get outside it, that is said to be area of the triangle ABC. One thing we have to take care that area is always positive. Means if at any place you get the negative value, you make the value to be positive, because area of the any triangle is always positive. Right? Now one thing we can also note here also, that if in a question we have to prove that the points that are given in a triangle are collinear, if we can just prove that if area of the triangle is 0, area of the triangle is 0, it means the points are said to be collinear. The next thing that we can say is that in order to find whether the points are collinear or not, the first approach we have already discussed there. In that approach, I told you, you have to just find the pairs of the points AB, BC, AC, right? And if the sum of the two is equal to third one, so we can say that the points are said to be collinear. The next thing that you have to understand here is, if you find the area of the triangle, And if area of the triangle is equal to 0, so in that case also you may say that points are said to be collinear. I hope the idea is clear. Okay. Now we can take one example here in which we have to find the area of the triangle. Suppose three coordinates are given. The coordinates are given as -1, 2, -2, 5 and 3, 0. 3 points are given. We have to find the area of the triangle formed. How we can start? Take it as 1/2. Write it as -1, 2, -2 and 5, 3 and 0. Again repeat the first one, -1 and 2. Okay. Then take it as 1/2. Multiply 5 into -1, -5, 0 into -2, 0, 3 plus 2 into 2, that is 6. Now we multiply from this side by taking the sign change. -2 into 2, that is -4, because the negative is there, I make it as +4. 3 into 5, 15, I will make it as -15, that would be 0. Okay, now this would be taken as 1/2, -5 and -15, that is -20, plus 6 plus 4, 10, so we make it -10/2, that is -5, and finally area is said to be 5, because we know that area is always positive, so I can say area of the triangle is said to be 5 square unit. That becomes my answer. I hope it's clear. Now after understanding of these 2 points here, next what we try to understand, sometime you may have some more questions. Suppose 4 points are there, 4 points are there, and you have to prove that the given figure is a square, that you have to prove. Okay, we know that in a square all 4 sides are equal and diagonals are equal. Diagonals are equal. So if you have to prove any figure to be square, these 2 things you have to prove. The first thing is that all 4 sides are equal, and second thing, both diagonals are equal, we can say the figure is said to be square. Second thing, if you want to prove your figure to be rectangle, if you want to prove the figure to be rectangle, you may say that opposite sides are equal. Opposite sides are equal, and the second thing you may say diagonals are also equal, because if diagonals are equal, that simply means that this figure is rectangle. If opposite sides are equal, all sides are not equal. Similarly, if you want to prove your figure to be parallelogram, in that case also you may try to prove opposite sides are equal and diagonals may be equal or unequal. If they are equal and unequal in both cases, that become a parallelogram, because in parallelogram we can say that opposite sides are equal and parallel. That is true in both cases, in the case of square as well as in the case of rectangle. So generally you may be asked to prove whether it is a square or rectangle. Means for answering all these type of questions, we have to just take the help of the distance formula, and with that we can easily prove all the things. Now after that, the next thing that we have to understand here, that is sectional formulas. The name of the formulas are known as sectional formulas. Right? Suppose 2 points are given, 1 point is A and 1 point is B. This point is given x1, y1, and this point is given x2, y2. Okay. Now the first point is, that is known as midpoint theorem. That is midpoint, how to find the midpoint of this AB. Right? What we can say that, suppose C is the midpoint, so we may say coordinate of C are x1 plus x2 upon 2, that is for abscissa, and for ordinate we may say y1 plus y2 upon 2. So we can, by this we can say these are the coordinates of midpoint of segment AB. So we can say the coordinate of C are x1 plus x2 by 2 plus y1 plus y2 by 2. Sometime there may be coordinate of C are given and A are given. You have to find coordinate of B. So in that case, you can assume it to be x2, y2. Put all the values and just solve it. You can easily answer it. You can find the coordinate of B. We are going to take one example here. Suppose this point is 5 and 2. This point is taken as 3 and -1. Right? And we have to find what is the coordinate of B. So what I can say that, let us assume that that is a comma b. So I can say 5 plus a by 2 equal to 3, and second says that 2 plus b by 2 is equal to minus 1. Right, here I have to find a. It will be multiplied 2 into 3, 6. So a would be equal to 1, 6 minus 5, 1. If you have to find b, so that would be taken as minus 2 minus 2. That is said to be 4. So I may say that the coordinates of b are 1 comma minus 4. It becomes my answer. So how the point is clear? So that first point is known as midpoint theorem. Second thing that we understand here, that is the concept of internal division. The second thing that we understand here is concept of internal division. By the term itself, it is clear that internal division means we have to find the coordinates of a point that is going to divide the given point internally. Okay, suppose one point is given 1 and minus 2. Second point is given 3 and minus 2. Or may say 3 and said to be 5. We are going to take it as 3 and 5. Okay. We have to find the coordinate of point C that internally divides AB. That internally divides AB in 2:1. We have to find the coordinates of point C that internally divide AB in 2:1. Right. So what the formula here is, suppose 2 points are given A and B. This point is x1, y1 and B point is given as x2, y2. And we have to find the C point O which is divided in ratio m/n. So we can say C would be taken as mx2 plus nx1 upon m plus n, and this would be taken as my2 plus ny1 upon m plus n. What the formula is? The formula is very simple. You take it as mx2 plus nx1 upon m plus n, and here you can say my2 plus ny1 upon m plus n. Means if you have to answer this question, this ratio is 2:1. So what you can say? You can say that coordinate of C are, first we find that CISA, 2 into 3 it will give you 6. 1 into 1 it will give you 1. 6 plus 1 by 3. So we can say that is 7 by 3. That is abscissa. Second we find the ordinate. 2 into 5 this give you 10. And then 1 into minus 2 this give you minus 2. Then we can say 2 plus 1 that is said to be 3. Right. Here I can say 10 minus 2 8. That is 8 upon 3. So we can say that the coordinate of C that divides it internally, that is 7 by 3 comma 8 upon 3. It divides the divide of AB in 2:1. Similarly, second point here is that is said to be the concept of external division. The second point here is the concept of external division. Now first of all we have to understand what you mean by the term external division. Suppose 2 points are given, 1 point is A and 1 point is B. Suppose there is a point C that externally divides it. It is given that C point externally divides in the ratio of m/n. Coordinate of A are given x1, y1. Coordinate of B are given, that is x2, y2. First of all we have to understand how that C points divide AB in m/n. For that we take this total m, means AC is said to be m and this portion is said to be n. If you say that m/n divides it externally, that simply means this is the true picture. Means the total is m, this is said to be n, right? In order to have this formula in our mind, we just take it as m/n for external division and substitute this in our original formula of internal division, and finally what we can get it as mx2 minus nx1 upon m minus n, and here we can say my2 minus ny1 upon m minus n. That we can get from our original formula. Pay attention here what we have done. This is the concept of external division. In any question where it is given in the statement that you have to externally divide. So what process we have to apply in order to externally divide? We just make our ratio as m ratio minus n, And the formula that we can derive from here is that is mx2 minus nx1 upon m minus n and m by 2 minus n by 1 upon m minus n. Okay. Suppose we may take one example here. It is given that coordinates of 2 points are given. One is A, one is B. This is 2, 1. This is minus 3, 2. It is given that find the coordinate of a point C that divides it externally in the ratio of 4:3. We have to find the coordinates of a point C that divides it externally in the ratio of 4:3. Because this is a question of external division, so we may take it as 4:3. We may take it as 4:3 and then we start to apply it. How? We have to find the abscissa. 4 into minus 3 minus 12 minus 3 into 2 minus 6 upon 4 minus 3. Then we have to find the ordinate. 4 into 2 that gives you 8 minus 3 into 1 minus 3 upon 4 minus 3. Okay, so that would be taken as minus 18 upon 1. This is 5 upon 1. Or I can say my points are said to be minus 18, 5. So I can say that these are the coordinates of external division, or we can say these coordinates divide this joint externally in the ratio of 4:3. So this is the concept of external division. After understanding of the concept of external division, the next point that we have, the next statement is there. Suppose 2 points are given AB. A is given as 3 minus 5. B is given as 4, 6. One more point is given C, that is 5, 17. You have to find out in what ratio that C divides the join of AB, right? Now here we don't know whether C will lie outside or inside. For that, we can assume that, let us assume that C is a point here. In that case, if we have to find the ratio, normally we assume the ratio as K:1. We assume that, let us assume that the C divides AB in the ratio of K:1. Okay. Now I try to find the coordinates of C. First I will try to find the abscissa, that is said to be 4K plus 3 upon K plus 1. This is equal to 5 because here my abscissa is 5, right? I just try to find the value of K, cross multiply, it makes me 4K plus 3 equal to 5K plus 5. Here I can say K equal to minus 2, or else I can say the ratio is minus 2:1, or I may take it as 2:-1. We know that when it is in the negative, so we have taken this into the external division. So my answer to this question is C divides AB externally in 2:1. That becomes an answer to your statement. You may say C divides it externally in ratio of 2:1. I hope the idea is clear. This concept is known as external division. Now after that, after understanding of the division, internal division, external division as well as the distance formula, the next we start here with the concept of a triangle. Earlier I told you how to find the area of the triangle. Now in this question we are primarily concerned with finding of the 3 points. First one is centroid. Second one is in center. Third one is circumcenter. As earlier in geometry portion I explained you the definitions of centroid, in center and circumcenter. You all know that centroid is a point that is intersecting point of the medians. In center, intersecting point of angle bisectors. Circumcenter, intersecting point of perpendicular bisectors. Centroid, if suppose coordinates of A is given x1, y1, coordinates of B is given x2, y2, coordinates of C is given x3, y3. Suppose the 3 coordinates are given ABC, A x1, y1, B x2, y2, C is x3, y3. So we can say that the coordinates of centroid are said to be x1 plus x2 plus x3 upon 3, that is abscissa, and y1 plus y2 plus y3 upon 3, that is the ordinate. That questions are very simple. If you have to find the centroid in any triangle, so you may simply take that as just take the sum of all the abscissas divided by 3, and then also take the sum of all ordinates divided by 3. You are in a position to find the coordinates of centroid. Next, you have coordinates of incenter. The length of this BC is A, this AC is small b, and this AB is small c. For finding the incenter, first of all we have to take the length of the BC, AC and AB, that is A, B and C. Now coordinate of incenter is for abscissa AX1, A into x1, B into x2, C into x3 upon A plus B plus C, comma AY1 plus BY2 plus CY3 upon A plus B plus C. This is the ordinate of incenter and this is the abscissa of incenter. AX1 plus BX2 plus CX3 upon A plus B plus C, AY1 plus BY2 plus CY3 upon A plus B plus C. So by that we can find out the abscissa as well as the ordinates of incenter. Next is the circumcenter. Although we don't have any specific formula for circumcenter we apply the basic property of circumcenter. We know that circumcenter is a point. Suppose circumcenter is D. We know that circumcenter is a point which is equidistant from all the 3 vertices. In a triangle, we know that circumcenter is such a point which is equidistant from all the 3 vertex. Suppose that is D. So we may take it as DA equal to DB equal to DC. Right? So we may assume that the coordinates of D are any point x comma y, and from that we make 3 equations here. Compare these 2 equations in a pair of 2. Compare dA equal to dB and dB equal to DC. From that we can make 2 equations in x and y, and after solving of these 2 equations you can find the values of x and y. So these are said to be coordinates of that triangle, that is the coordinate of circumcenter of this triangle ABC. So by that we are in a position to find circumcenter of the triangle. Although sometimes the examiner may also ask from you, you have to find out the coordinates of orthocenter. For that, first of all there is a need to understand the concept of the straight line. After understanding of the concept, we are in a position to find the coordinates of orthocenter as well as. So this is the first step of this chapter, coordinate geometry, in which we understood how to find the distance, as well as we also understood what process we have to apply in order to find the area of the triangle. We also done the concept of sectional division, internal division, external division, as well as how to find the centroid, incenter and circumcenter. The next part of this chapter deals with how to find the concept of straight line. Now, after understanding of part 1 of the coordinate geometry, the next topic that we start with this chapter is concept of straight line. This is the concept of straight line. Suppose 2 points are there. If you meet those 2 points, one straight line is formed. So here we are primarily concerned with how to make the equation of a straight line. Before trying to understand the concept of the straight line, one thing here we have to understand is this is the concept of slope. We use a term in the straight line, concept of slope, right? What do you mean by the slope? Suppose this is coordinate axis, x-axis and y-axis. This one line is there. Slope is basically known as tangent of the angle, tangent of angle made by the line in positive direction of x-axis, in positive direction of x-axis. How? This line is there, we take this angle is theta, tangent of this angle, that is tangent theta. This is said to be slope of the line. What do you mean by the term slope? The basic definition of the slope is it is tangent of the angle made by the line with the positive direction of x-axis. This is said to be slope of the line. In coordinate geometry, slope is denoted by the point M. Slope is denoted by M. Whenever we use M, it means we are considering the slope, right? Now, in order to find the slope of a line, we have 5 different methods. The first method is where angle is given made by the line with the positive direction of x-axis. Suppose the angle is given theta. We may say slope of the line is said to be tangent of theta. This is said to be slope of the line. The second point we have, suppose one line is there and 2 coordinates are given. 2 points are given. Suppose one point is A, coordinates are given as x1, y1, and one point is B, coordinates are given x2, y2. Right? Here we have to find the slope of the line, that is said to be M. Slope is said to be y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Suppose you have to find the slope of a line and the points are given A and B, x1, y1 and x2, y2. Here you can say slope of the line is said to be y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Right? It is very easy for us to find the slope when 2 points are given. Third approach that we use in order to find the slope is, third thing that we try to, in order to find the slope, if 2 lines are parallel, so we can say that slope of the lines will be equal. So here we can say slopes of the line are equal. Suppose slope of the first line is M1 and second line is M2. So here we can say if 2 lines are parallel, in that case M1 is always equal to M2. Fourth thing that we have to find here is if 2 lines are perpendicular. If 2 lines are perpendicular, in that case product of their slopes is always equal to -1. So we will take it as M1 into M2 is always equal to -1. If 2 lines are perpendicular, in that case product of the slopes is equal to -1. Suppose it is given to you that slope of the first line is equal to 2. So you may say slope of the second line is said to be 2 into M2 is equal to -1. That is said to be -1 by 2. That is slope of the second line -1 by 2. Right? First formula we have tan theta if theta is given. Second, if 2 points are given, in order to find the slope, you may apply this formula y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Then, if 2 lines are parallel, you have to find the slope. So we can say slopes are equal. Then, if 2 lines are perpendicular, we may say that the product of their slopes is equal to -1. Fifth formula we use when equation of a line is given. Suppose equation of the line is given ax plus by plus c equal to 0. And we have to find the slope of this line. We have to find the slope of this line. So this is said to be minus coefficient of x upon coefficient of y. So what is the formula in order to find the slope of the line? Slope of the line is said to be minus of coefficient of x upon coefficient of y. Whatever we get from here, that is said to be slope of the line. How? For example, if I say one line is given 2x minus 3y plus 5 equal to 0. We have to find the slope of the line. So what approach I will apply? Minus coefficient of x upon coefficient of y. So my slope of the line is said to be 2 upon 3. This is said to be slope of the line. I hope the idea is clear. Now these 5 formula we generally used in order to find the slope of the line. Once you have the slope of the line, then it is very easy for you to form the equation of the line. Let us start with the concept of forming of equation of the line. How to find equation of a line. For finding the equation of the line, we have some different formats. The first format that we have, that is 1 point form, where 1 point is given and slope is given. In these questions, 1 point is given to you. Suppose the point is given x1, y1 and slope of the line is given that is equal to m. Right? Now in that, if you want to make the equation of the line, so this would be y minus y1 is always equal to m into x minus x1. That is the first type of question in which we have to make the equation of a line where the slope of the line is given that is m and the coordinates of a point is given x1, y1. In order to find the equation of the line, you may take it as y minus y1 equal to m into x minus x1. The second type is that is 2-point form. 2-point form means when 2 points are given, first point is given x1, y1 and second point is given x2, y2. Where 2 points are given x1, y1, second point is given as x2, y2. In that, if you have to find the equation of the line, so you know that although this formula will be applied, but in order to find the m, you apply y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. One thing you have to take care of, you take the value of x1, y1 here, same x1, y1 you have to use in order to find the slope. So you may take it as y minus y1 equal to y2 minus y1 upon x2 minus x1. Here it is x minus x1. So that would be converted into the equation of x and y, and that is said to be 2-point form. That is said to be 2-point form. How we can use it? Suppose if I say that one find the equation of a line that passes through 2 and minus 1 and whose slope of the line is equal to minus 2. The question is we have to find the equation of a line passing through 2 and minus 1 and slope of the line is minus 2. So here we can say that y minus y1 equal to m into x minus x1. So this may be taken as y plus 1 equal to minus 2x plus 4. So my answer is said to be 2x plus y equal to 3. That is said to be equation of the line. So I will say that in order to find the equation of the line, we need one point as well as slope of the line. If you have these two things with you, with the help of the 1-point format, you can easily find out equation of a line. Similarly, sometimes we may also use the properties of the slope that I earlier told you when lines are parallel and when lines are perpendicular. Suppose it is given that find equation of a line passing through 2 and minus 1 and is parallel to a line that is said to be x plus 2y minus 5 equal to 0. What the question is, we have to find the equation of a line passing through the point 2 and minus 1 is parallel to a line x plus 2y minus 5 equal to 0. Now we know that in order to find the equation of a line, what we require, we simply require that point that we have. We know that the point is 2 and minus 1. And second thing that we require, that is the slope of the line, right? We know that the required line is parallel to this line. So what is the slope of this line that we can find? That is said to be slope of this line is, suppose the slope of the line is m2. So minus coefficient of x by coefficient of y. Slope is minus 1 by 2. We know that this slope is parallel to this line is parallel to the required line. Hence, the parallel slope of the required line is also minus 1 by 2 because two lines are parallel, their slopes are equal. Now, if we have to find the equation of this line, so that is said to be y minus y1 equal to m into x minus x1, right? I will take 2 as LCM, so that is said to be 2y plus 2 equal to minus x plus 2. Here I can say x plus 2y is equal to 0. So this is the equation of the required line which is passing through the point 2 comma minus 1 and is parallel to this given line x plus 2y minus 5 equal to 0. I hope the idea is clear. Then we have the third format of the equation, that is said to be slope intercept form. Third format is said to be slope intercept form. Slope intercept form. What do you mean by this form? Suppose one line is there cutting x-axis and y-axis by this way. This is y-axis intercept, that is C. Here the C is y-axis intercept. If in the question y-axis intercept is given as well as slope of the line is given, or some condition is given by which we can find the slope of the line, so there we can say the equation of the required line is y equal to mx plus c. This line format is said to be slope intercept form. In this, how to find the slope intercept form? Y equal to mx plus c, where this m is said to be slope of the line and c is said to be y-axis intercept, that is y equal to mx plus c. Then you have intercept form. After that you have intercept form. What do you mean by the intercept form? Suppose this is coordinate axis, this line is there, this is A and this is B, where A is said to be intercept of x-axis, A is said to be intercept of x-axis, and B is said to be intercept of y-axis. A is said to be intercept of x-axis, B is said to be intercept of y-axis. So in order to find the equation, you may take it as x upon A plus y upon B equal to 1. So this is said to be slope intercept form, that is said to be x upon A plus y upon B equal to 1. So this is said to be slope intercept form. I hope the idea is clear. Although there may be more type of questions, it may be in +1 exam, but here we are primarily concerned with for SSC and CAT. So in that, if you know these 4 type of equations, so with the help of this, you are in a position to make the equation of a line. Next point that must be known to you is how to find angle between two lines. How to find angle between two lines. Suppose two lines are there and we have to find the angle between the two lines, right? So first of all, we have to take the slopes of the two lines. First slope is m1, second is m2. First point is we have to take the slope of the two lines m1 and m2. Okay. If you have to find the angle between the two lines, that is said to be tangent theta is equal to m1 minus m2 upon 1 plus m1 into m2. Pay attention here. What is the formula for finding out the angle between the two lines? This formula is said to be tangent theta is equal to m1 minus m2 upon 1 plus m1 into m2. If as per to the given question, whatever the two lines are there, first of all we have to find the slope of the line that earlier I told you. Slope of the line could be taken as minus coefficient of x upon coefficient of y. Similarly, we can take the slope of the second line also. And if you have the slope of the two lines, by applying this formula, we can find the angle between the two lines. Sometime angle between the lines is given and slope of the first line is given. So in that case, you just replace your values here, and with that you can easily find the slope of the second line. By that you are in a position to get your answer by applying this tangent theta is equal to m1 minus m2 upon 1 plus m1 into m2. I hope it's clear. Now in SSC or CAT examination, sometimes the questions may be in that format. Suppose lines are given x plus 2y minus 5 equal to 8, 2x plus 4y plus 6 equal to 10. You have to show that whether these two lines are parallel or not, right? So we know that if two lines are parallel, that simply means slope of the lines must be equal, right? So here what we can say, if you take the slope of the first line, that is said to be m1 minus of coefficient of x, this is 1 upon 2, and when we take the slope of the second line, that is said to be m2, here also I can say minus of coefficient of x upon y, so this is also taken as minus 1 by 2, right? Here I can say m1 is equal to m2, hence we can say slope is equal, hence these lines are said to be parallel. In a similar case, if you want to also show the lines to be perpendicular, so you have to show that whether the product of the lines is equal to minus 1 or not. If the product of the lines is -1, in that case you can say lines are said to be perpendicular. Now the next point here is that may also be very important for the students of SSC. How to find perpendicular distance, how to find perpendicular distance from a point P, that is x1 y1, over a line ax plus by plus c equal to 0. The next question here is how to find the perpendicular distance from a point P, that is x1 y1, over a line ax plus by plus c equal to 0. Suppose equation of a line is given, that is this line is there, ax plus by plus c equal to 0, and this point is given x1 y1. We have to find out the perpendicular distance from this point over this line. Your formula is very simple. Put this x1 y1 in the line, you make it as ax1 plus by1 plus c upon under root of, make the square of the coefficient of x and y, so that would be root of a square plus b square. So I may say that the distance between this point over this line is ax1 plus by1 plus c upon under root of a square plus b square. That is the perpendicular distance from this point over the line. We will also take one example here. Suppose one point is 1, 2. A line is given as x minus 3y plus 5 equal to 0. We have to find the distance. Very simple. Put the point here. 1 minus 6 plus 5 upon under root of 1 plus 9. That is equal to 6 upon 6, 0. It means we can say that this point will lie over the line. Hence perpendicular distance from point over the line is said to be 0. The formula is simple now. ax1 plus by1 plus c upon root of a square plus b square. Then there is one more statement here, one more type of question, that is distance between two parallel lines. It is the distance between two parallel lines. Suppose first line is given as ax1 plus by1 plus c1 equal to 0. Because lines are parallel, hence coefficient must be equal by2 plus c2 equal to 0. We have to find what is the distance between these two parallel lines. First of all, make sure that the coefficients must be same. Once they have been made same, so you may say that distance is equal to c1 minus c2, difference between the coefficients upon root of a square plus b square. So that is said to be the distance between two parallel lines, c1 minus c2 under root of a square plus b square. By that you can easily find the distance between the two parallel straight lines. I hope the idea is clear. Right? This is the concept of the lines that we require for solving the questions of coordinate geometry. In this chapter we also try to understand the basic circle. Why? Because sometime some practical problem may be asked on the questions of circle in CAT or SSC examinations. So when we consider the circle, suppose center of the circle is given, that is said to be h comma k, and the radius of the circle is given as r. Center is given as h comma k and the radius is given as r. Equation of the circle is said to be x minus h whole square plus y minus k square. This is equal to r square. How to find the equation of the circle? That is said to be x minus h whole square plus y minus k whole square is equal to r square. By that is the equation of a circle. Right? If we say center of the circle is origin, that is 0, 0, so we may take it as the equation of the circle is x square plus y square is equal to r square. If center of the circle is 0, 0, in that case equation of circle is said to be x square plus y square equal to r square. Sometime equation of the circle is given in general form, means x square plus y square plus 2gx plus 2fy plus c equal to 0. Here I can say in that case, center of the circle is said to be minus g comma minus f, and the radius of the circle is said to be under root of g square plus f square minus c. Suppose the circle is given in this format. In that case, if you have to take the center of the circle, that center of the circle is said to be minus g comma minus f, and the radius of the circle is said to be root of g square plus f square minus c. So these are some basic things that is required by a student of CAT and SSC examination in order to solve the questions based over the concept of coordinate geometry in their exams. I hope you enjoyed the lecture. Read this lecture, study the lecture again and again until the concepts are clear. Also share these videos with your friends so that they may also be benefited with these sessions. Thank you very much.